All right, guys, let's dive in. We're going to do part 2 of the nightstand, which will be adding on the shelves, the back panel, and the top face. So right here is where we ended at part 1. When we're done with part 2, you're going to have your, where are they at? Shelves. I'm going to pop those in. Then we're going to put the back panel on. There we go. And then we're going to add the face. And then your dimensions, which should also be separately tagged like that. And there we go, we're done. And then also, I want you tagging everything, just like this tag menu is open here. Each piece as you build, make sure you tag that. And then make sure you include new tags for the dimensions and vocab at each step. So that now we're done with the side panel. We can turn off all of those vocab and dimensions to clean things up. And this would be what your screenshot looks like when you turn in your project to me. One screenshot that lets me see your tabletop and your shelves and your dimensions real clearly and your routed edge. And then a second from the back so I can see that panel on the back. Notice the panel covers up both shelves. The panel has the top right at the top, meeting it to the actual top of the nightstand. And then it's got the bottom panel and it butts up against that. You don't see the two inside shelves. The one right below the face and the one right in the middle are inside the back there. Okay, so that's what it's going to look like when we're done. Let's go ahead and build that. All right, so first off, we'll throw in our 3 shelves, which is easy in this environment. If I draw a rectangle and I just start at that corner and just end it at that corner. And I think I'm just going to build one, and then I'll just do move copies and bring it up for the other 2. Bring it out to the edge, make sure. Now notice here, you can go to this outside edge or you can go to this inside edge, and you need to know which is which. Since this is the bottom panel, I want to go to this outside edge here. So that's where I'm going to put that one. The plywood backboard is going to stop right here. Group it. I'm going to move it. We'll just grab it and drag it right up that edge. Right into that next dado, and there's not really, let's see. Yep, that looks good. Now this one needs to be push-pulled in just a hair because this does need to be brought in. If we add the back panel, we don't have a back panel yet, but when we drew a back panel over this, you would see this. It would be inside the back panel, and I'll see those lines, and I'm going to return your project to you if I see that. So make sure we move that edge in. This is a slightly shorter panel by that 1/4 inch, okay? So notice that guy's sticking out, that guy's not, and this top one as well is not going to stick out, so we're going to move this guy and copy it, and then we've got all 3. There you go. Shelves and done. Really simple. Let's go ahead and do that. And now let's tag all of these guys. I've already got the tag created that says shelves. You just need to create that tag and then assign it. There we go. So we've got our shelves created and tagged. Next, let's just do the back panel while we're back here. Same thing, rectangle tool. We're going to start right here. I'm going to start on that back corner and pull it forward. So make sure you have both the start and the end of that rectangle on the back corner. If I put it here, it's not flat on a single plane because it's on the back corner up front, and then it's moved up here when you finish, and you're going to have this weird angle, and it's going to give you problems. So make sure we started inside right up against the shelves on the back and the front, and now it gives us a nice clean face. Now, if I see this, anything like this, I know your panel's not right, and I'm going to return it because you don't have, your shelves are too big and they're sticking out to the back of your panel, or you didn't pull out the panel. But either way, it should look like that. All of them disappear. You just run out to an edge, click it, group that guy. And then we could color it like this, but then it looks like it's a solid panel. I prefer you guys color it differently. Now it looks like a piece of plywood. Now we can tell it's just a piece of 1/4 inch ply, and it's just going down the back here. And we should not see that edge. So somehow I over pushed that out. So I'm going to go right to that edge. And that's what we should see. It should be flush like that. Tag it. Again, I've already created that tag, so I'm just going to assign it to the back panel. If I can find where it is. There it is. To the back panel. And we're almost done. Okay, now to make the top, I think the easiest way is just to make a top that fits exactly on the corners of this. Whoa, let's back up a little here. That fits right on the corners of this nightstand, and then we'll just do a push-pull and pull it out. I had a little bit of a time trying to get things exactly evenly spaced, and I think this is probably an easier way for you guys to do it. Okay, we created it, we're push-pulling it, and it should be 3/4 of an inch thick. Notice that's the first time we had to actually use 3/4, because if you did these dados and rabbits correctly at 3/4 thickness, you'll automatically have 3/4 for those dimensions when you create them. All right, we can go ahead and make that. So now we've got the top, which looks kind of cheesy. It looks like a filing cabinet right now until we add that lip all the way around. And if you guys were reading through the instructions for the project, your dimensions, if you got your dimensions correct on the 2 panels of your nightstand, then we're adding exactly 2 inches on each side. So all you have to do is pull it out and add 2 inches, and then pull out the other side and add 2 inches. And that should be a correct dimension. Okay, and we'll check that right now. 2, 4. Let's get that to lay down. 2, 4 3/4. And why don't you guys make my life easy? Select that. Make that nice and big, like 18. And then change the color from black, since we're on something dark, to something light. And look how easy that is to read. Make my life easy, guys. And then same thing on the front. Now notice the back is going to stay flush. That's how it should look. There should be nothing sticking off the back. But we do need to pull out the front edge of this panel as well. And it's also going to be 2 inches. There we go. Okay. And we'll dimension that as well. And then remember, make that, we'll get back to that in a second. Okay, and then next, I want these dimensions to be grouped. So grab both of them. And let's show you first. Create a tag that's called face dimensions. For each step, create your own dimensions in vocab tab. So you can turn those on and off. Select those. And I can't find it. There it is. Put them in that, so later on you can turn those off when you don't want them. All right, so our face is roughly built. It's at the correct dimensions, and now we can add our wraparound routing. And I just want to point out to you guys, we're going to go here across the side, the front, and the back. So you really want to start your routing at the back edge. With a face coming off right here, so you can wrap around those 3 sides. And I'll make it easy. You can do your measurements just on this square face with a 2-inch lip, and then just add your routing outside of that. I think that'll make it a little easier. And if I use the rectangle tool, I need it to be green like that, so it'll stick out. And I don't think that's a good idea because it Yeah, I'm actually going to use the line tool because then you can go exactly from the edge. There we go. Okay, now again, this is kind of your choice. Do whatever you would like for that routed edge. And I get that a lot. Super annoying. I don't know how to fix that, guys. Basically, I think you're just trying to do too sharp of a curve and too small of an area when I get that, is what it's telling me. And so I just try to change what I'm doing because I haven't found a way to fix that. That's now see, notice here, guys, here's a good mistake. It looked like my line was correct, but look now, we can see that line is sticking straight out. So watch out for that. Make sure everything you draw is on that face.
Oh snap, those thorns are really powerful.
There we go. Oh, goodness. And that's good enough. Let's call it good, and let's move on. All right, so I'm going to run that around. Remember, I'm not going to select the whole face because I'm not going all the way around. There should not be a route at the back of your table. So if you select the whole face and then you run that around, you're going to have problems. And I just remembered, damn it. You know what? I forgot. And if you guys are in the same group, if your table is grouped and you do your face outside the group, you're going to have to redo it and go inside the group. So I'm going to cheat a little bit. I'm just going to run some lines around the outside edge of the table to double it up. And I think it'll let me select those lines without being inside the group. And if that's the case, let's get our follow me ready and just select those 3 outside lines and see if our trick worked. Yep, looks like it will. Select and follow me, and boom, there you go. So notice our routed edge only goes on the front 3 sides, not the back. That kind of looks cool. I'm tempted to leave it like that, but in the real world, you can't really do that with a routed edge and just change the color like that. So, I forgot. Group it, and then it'll all, there you go. Then it'll all be one color. Or maybe not. There we go. All right, I think that's it for this part. Notice for your screenshots, I want to see your tags up right here. We've got everything tagged so that I can see that it's all there tagged. You've got your routed face with dimensions, your shelves, and your back panel. I'd like to be able to see that 3rd shelf, but you can't really do that with a single screenshot. So we'll take one screenshot like this, one from the back, and you're good to go. All right.